Hello, all. So, following the recent firing of Jimmy Kimmel from his late night comedy show, I couldn't help but notice that there were a lot of people on the left fomenting their absolute disgust at this decision by ABC to drop him, with some even going so far as to state that this is a blatant hypocrisy from those on the right, and citing freedom of speech, the First Amendment, as evidence of this blatant hypocrisy. Now, rather interestingly, I would state that to anybody with half a brain or who has been paying attention or has been even remotely dialed in politically over the last 10 years, this is mere projection from those on the left who are now calling this hypocrisy from the right. After all, where were these defenders of freedom of speech a mere 5 years ago when it was conservatives who were being banned from their online platforms, having their livelihoods destroyed, often having to be called to testify in Congress for hateful speech? Of course, they were nowhere to be found. Surprise, surprise. So I don't buy this dog and pony show that these people all of a sudden value free speech. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think that they're just feeling the burn, as it were, of all of a sudden having their freedom of speech challenged. And as I surmised in a previous video, brief as it was, I don't believe that people being fired for celebrating somebody's death is a free speech issue. After all, the government is not arresting these people or rounding them up for expressing their opinions. Their employers are simply dropping them, as they should. After all, it wasn't that long ago when people believed in common decency. And believe it or not, celebrating the death of another person, ghoulish as you may believe them to have been in life, is never an acceptable position to hold, especially in a professional capacity. Needless to say, people have even been stating that Jimmy Kimmel's comments were not that derisive. However, I beg to differ. I think taking pot shots at a man who has just died and people who are grieving his death, regardless of how silly and quaint you might believe that to be, is never something that you should jest about. It's frankly disgusting and despicable, and to be honest with you, what I find most despicable about this is the fact that you've called this a free speech issue when you salient defenders of free speech were nowhere to be found a mere 5 years ago when it was people on the other political aisle who were suffering similar transgressions.